There's nothing left to invest on this income. If you're earning around $35,000 a year, that probably feels accurate. The paycheck lands, the bills hit, you buy food, you get to work, you allow a few small treats just to stay sane, and the balance drifts back towards zero. It feels like the problem is the income. It feels like if I just made more, this would finally start working. But on the exact same income, you could run completely different cash flow systems. One system quietly guarantees that nothing is ever left over. Another quietly builds an engine in the background. Same job, same paycheck, different mechanics. Take that $35,000 income. After tax, depending on where you live, that might be roughly $2,300 a month landing in your bank account. Here's how that usually moves. Paycheck in, rent or mortgage, utilities, minimum debt payments, groceries, transport, subscriptions you half remember, random "I've had a hard week, I deserve this" spending. By halfway to the next payday, your account is back near zero. Then the next paycheck lands and the cycle resets. From the inside, this feels like chaos. From the outside, it's very stable. 100% of your income enters what we can call the spend this month loop. 0% is intercepted and moved into any kind of long-term structure. Every month resets you to the same starting line. Run that for a month, you feel stressed. Run it for 10 years, you feel stuck. Run it for 30 years, and the system has done exactly what it was designed to do: keep nothing. Not because you're bad with money, but because the loop you're running has no mechanism to accumulate anything. Money comes in, money goes out. Nothing gets captured. So instead of asking, "Where do I find extra money?" the better question is, what new rule can I add so some of this cash flow is forced into a different loop? That rule looks like this. A fixed percentage of every paycheck is intercepted before it can enter the spend this month loop. Same income, one new rule. Let's see what happens if that interception rule is 5% and then 10%. 5% of $35,000 is $1,750 a year. On that monthly take-home of about $2,300, 5% is roughly $145. With that rule in place, your system becomes paycheck in, $145 is intercepted automatically, and the remaining $2,155 goes into the usual monthly spending loop. The key is that the intercepted money does not sit in checking waiting to be spent. It's routed into a different loop, a savings account, or better, a simple investment account. That account earns a return, the return is added to the balance, next month's $145 lands on top of that slightly higher balance. That's a feedback loop. That's compound growth. Let's use a common long-term planning assumption, about 7% per year on average. Not a guarantee, just a standard modeling number. Under that assumption, here's roughly what that 5% interception builds. After around 10 years, you're somewhere in the range of $25,000 to $30,000. After 30 years, you're roughly in the $150,000 to $170,000 range. In this entire story, your income never changed. The only change was that 5% of the cash flow was rerouted into a loop that keeps money instead of spending it. By year 30, if you're sitting on, say, $160,000 and it grows at 7%, that's around $11,000 a year in returns, whether you're working or not. On a $35,000 income, you've created an additional 5-figure cash flow source built entirely by that one rule: intercept 5% before it hits the monthly spending system. Now, push the same logic a bit further. 10% of $35,000 is $3,500 a year. That's about $290 a month. With that rule, your system becomes paycheck in, $290 is intercepted automatically, and the remaining roughly $2,010 goes into your regular monthly spending loop. Again, that $290 doesn't feel huge in any one month, but it feeds the same compound loop. Under that same 7% assumption, after 10 years, you're in the range of $50,000 to $60,000. After 30 years, you're somewhere around $300,000 to $340,000. At $320,000, 7% annual growth is about $22,000 a year. On the same $35,000 starting income, that's more than half your salary being produced by a machine you built by intercepting 10% of your cash flow and feeding it into that growth loop. Zoom out and you can see 3 different systems on the same income. System 1, 0% intercepted. Run for 30 years and you end up with 0 invested because the system is designed that way. System 2, 5% intercepted. Run for 30 years and you get a six-figure engine quietly running in the background. System 3, 10% intercepted. Run for 30 years and you have a low to mid six-figure engine that can generate a meaningful chunk of your income on its own. Especially early in your financial life, the design of the system matters more than the level of your income. The same paycheck can either fuel a closed monthly loop or a growing engine. On a tight income, you probably can't jump straight to 10%, and trying overnight usually fails. So you don't start there. You build the loop in stages. Stage 1, start tiny. Start at 1% of take-home pay. On $2,300 a month, that's $23. The goal isn't the amount. The goal is to prove that an interception loop actually exists in your life, that money leaves your paycheck and goes somewhere that is not your spending account. Stage 2, automate the rule. Use direct deposit splits through your employer or automatic transfers scheduled for the day your paycheck hits. The money should move before you ever see it in checking. If interception depends on you remembering or feeling motivated, it's not a system, it's a wish. Systems run even when you're tired, stressed, or distracted. Stage 3, feed raises and freed up cash into the loop. When your income goes up, or a recurring bill disappears, or you cancel a subscription, treat that change as fuel for a higher interception rate, not as a reason to upgrade lifestyle by the full amount. 1% becomes 3, 3 becomes 5, 5 becomes 7, 7 becomes 10. Over a few years, you move from I can't save anything to I consistently intercept 10% before I even see it in checking. That creates another feedback loop. Higher income lets you raise the interception rate, which builds the engine faster, which eventually gives you more choices about work, housing, and lifestyle. It's the opposite of lifestyle inflation, where every raise just makes the monthly spending system bigger without building any engine at all. This $35,000 example is what happens when you zoom out and run these patterns for decades. Same human, same income bracket, very different life purely from changing the rules of the system the money flows through. So if it feels like there's nothing left to invest on this income, the real question isn't just where can I cut? The deeper question is what percentage of this cash flow do I want permanently trapped in a monthly spending loop, and what percentage do I want feeding a long-term engine? 0%, 5%, 10%. Those are system choices, not personality traits. This is financial mechanics. If you want more breakdowns of how the money systems in your life actually work and how small structural changes compound over time, hit subscribe and watch the next video where we zoom in on the monthly pattern that keeps this whole thing feeling impossible.